Welcome to Chapter 3, The Business of Advertising. This chapter introduces the people and groups that sponsor, create, produce, and transmit advertisements. Advertising people may serve in a variety of roles. So the chapter discusses the basic tasks of both the client and the advertising agency, the roles of suppliers in the media, the ways agencies acquire clients and are compensated, and the overall relationship between the agency and the client. The advertising business has 4 distinct groups. The 2 main ones are the advertisers and the agencies. The advertisers are clients or companies like Honda, McDonald's, or the local shoe store that pay to advertise themselves and their products. Advertisers range in size from small independent businesses to huge multinational firms, and in type from service organizations to industrial manufacturers to local charities. The second group, advertising agencies, consists of specialists who help advertisers plan, create, and prepare IMC campaigns. A third group, suppliers, includes the photographers, illustrators, printers, digital service bureaus, video production houses, digital developers, and others who assist advertisers and agencies. Suppliers also include consultants, research firms, and professional services. The fourth group, the media, sells time on radio and TV, and space, in print and outdoor, or both, in digital media, for delivering the advertiser's message to the target audience. Almost half of the billions of dollars spent each year on advertising in the United States is devoted to local advertising, by local businesses targeting customers in their geographic area. There are 4 main types of local advertisers. Dealers are local franchisees of national companies like you see in the picture. Other examples would be Honda, McDonald's, and H&R Block. Stores that sell a variety of branded merchandise, convenience, grocery, and department stores. Specialty businesses and services like banks, restaurants, music stores, remodeling contractors, florists, hair salons, attorneys, and accountants. Last, governmental and non-profit organizations, municipalities, utility companies, charities, art organizations, or political candidates. A small local business, say a hardware, clothing, or electronics store, may have just one person in charge of advertising. That person, the advertising manager, performs all of the administrative, planning, budgeting, and coordinating functions. He or she may design ads, write copy, and engage customers in social media. Let's look at the types of local advertising. These include product, institutional, and classified advertising. And you'll notice on the right, this is obviously not a local ad, but I couldn't resist using it as an example of institutional advertising. Now you'll notice that given the fact that we've got Jane Goodall here and a chimpanzee, it doesn't look like Wells Fargo is selling a product. However, their image has been so tarnished by their bad behavior, they're definitely in need of enhancing the standing of their institution, hence the emphasis on institutional advertising. So product advertising, as you're no doubt aware, promotes a specific product or service and stimulates short-term action while building awareness of the business. To stimulate sales of merchandise or increase store traffic, local merchants frequently use sale advertising, placing items on sale and offering 2-for-1 specials or other deals. Institutional advertising, as I said a minute ago, attempts to create a favorable long-term perception of the business as a whole, not just a particular product or service. Many businesses use institutional advertising to promote an idea about the company and build long-term goodwill. It makes the public aware of what the business stands for and attempts to build reputation and image. Advertisers use classified advertising for a variety of reasons: to locate and recruit new employees, offer services, or sell or lease new and used merchandise. When Ralph Rubio built his restaurant business, his promotional activities involved a lot more than just running ads. In fact, he did everything he could to build relationships with his customers and to promote word of mouth. That meant using publicity, sales promotion, and direct response as well as media advertising, all integrated with consistently good food, reasonable prices, and excellent service. This combination constitutes integrated marketing communications, IMC, as we've discussed before. Social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, have the capacity to dramatically change the strategies of local advertisers. Local advertisers have an advantage over national advertisers in social media because they share a community with their customers. When things happen locally, local advertisers can target customers about these shared events. Local advertisers rely on several sources for creative help, including reps from the local media, local ad agencies, freelancers and consultants, creative boutiques, syndicated art services, and the cooperative advertising programs of wholesalers, manufacturers, and trade associations. Cooperative or co-op advertising has two key purposes: to build the manufacturer's brand image and to help distributors, dealers, or retailers increase sales. Every year, national manufacturers give local retailers more than $20 billion for co-op projects. Newspapers, direct mail, and radio are the favored media of co-op spending. In the past, I did a fair amount of co-op advertising, specifically in trade publications. And one of the companies that we worked with was Thunderbird. They made large rock crushing plants, so they partnered with us as distributors. And on the surface, cooperative advertising seems like a great arrangement for retailers. A manufacturer supplies advertising materials, saving the retailer production costs, and pays a percentage of the media cost. The retailer drops in the store's logo, arranges for the ad to run, and collects the co-op dollars from the manufacturer. The small retail business can stretch its ad budget, which is what we found, and associate its business with a nationally advertised product. The retailer receives professionally prepared ads and acquires great leverage with the local media that carry the co-op ads. But as with any marriage, there's a give and take. A retailer may have to sell a lot of merchandise to qualify for co-op ads. And sometimes the retailer and manufacturer have different advertising objectives and different ideas about how the ads should be executed. Some companies operate in one part of the country, in one or several states, and market exclusively within that region. These are referred to as regional advertisers. Typical examples include regional grocery and department store chains, governmental bodies such as state lotteries, franchise groups such as the Southern California Honda dealers, and statewide or multi-state banks such as Bank of America. Other companies sell in several regions or throughout the country and are called national advertisers. These include consumer packaged goods manufacturers such as Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson, national airlines such as Delta and JetBlue, media and entertainment companies such as Disney and Time Warner, electronic manufacturers such as Apple and Hewlett-Packard, and many restaurant chains such as McDonald's. These firms also make up the membership of the Association of National Advertisers, ANA, which includes the largest advertisers in the countries. These companies market brands that are some of the most popular in the world. So let's look at some differences between local and national advertisers. National advertisers are concerned about building their brands. So their advertising tends to focus on the competitive features of one brand over another. Local merchants or dealers often carry hundreds of different brands, so they focus on attracting customers to a particular location, their place of business. The relationship with the customers may be the greatest difference between national and local advertisers. National advertising marketing executives rarely see their customers. Instead, they traditionally think of them in terms of segment, niches, or target markets. They design their strategies and campaigns to appeal to these large groups. But local advertisers deal with individual customers every day. The local advertisers get regular feedback on the company's advertising, prices, product performance, customer service, store decor, and the new sign out front. National companies think long-term. They develop 5-year strategic plans and budget for annual advertising campaigns. Local advertisers worry that this week's ads didn't pull. In other words, they didn't pull as much as last week's. So here you see a model of a centralized advertising department. Companies that embrace a centralized advertising department usually want control. This organization scheme offers both efficiency and continuity across divisional boundaries. In centralized departments, an advertising manager typically reports to a marketing vice president. The advertising department may be organized in any of 5 ways: by product or brand, by sub-function of advertising, such as copy, art, digital media, media buying, by end use, such as consumer advertising or trade advertising, by medium, such as radio, TV, digital, or outdoor, or by geography, such as Western advertising, Eastern advertising, or international advertising. And here you see a decentralized system. In a decentralized system, the company sets up separate ad departments for different divisions, subsidiaries, regions, brands, or other categories that suit the company's needs. The general manager of each division or brand is responsible for that group's advertising. A brand manager who oversees each individual brand typically works under a marketing manager. This system gives significant authority to the individuals responsible for each brand. And here we see an example of transnational advertising. As companies continue to grow and prosper around the world, they may invest directly in many countries. True multinational corporations strive for full integrated participation in world markets. Multinationals that use a standardized approach to marketing and advertising in all countries are considered global marketers, and they create global brands. Their assumption is that the way the product is used and the needs it satisfies are universal. Companies do a lot of research before attempting a global advertising strategy. So much depends on the product and where they try to sell it. A no answer to any of the following questions means the attempt will be difficult. These are: has each country's market for the product developed in the same way? A Ford is a Ford in most markets. On the other hand, many consumers around the globe use clotheslines, so they don't need fabric softener for dryers. Another question is, are the targets similar in different nations? Japanese consumers like jeans, running shoes, and game consoles. The same is true for consumers in Europe and the United States, but they might not share a liking for certain foods or other fashions. Another question is, do consumers share the same wants and needs? Breakfast in Brazil is usually a cup of coffee. Kellogg's cornflakes won't be served the same way as in the United States, where people commonly eat cereal for breakfast. Advertisers who cannot answer yes to the above questions will often take a localized approach to international marketing and advertising. They will consider differences in product use, economic development, media options, local laws, technology, and customs. The outcome will often be the adaptation of products, packages, and advertising campaigns to suit each market. Let's think about media around the world. In the past, international media, which serves several countries, usually without any change in content, have been limited to newspapers and magazines. Several large American publishers, such as Time, McGraw-Hill, and Scientific American, circulate international editions of their magazines abroad. Usually written in English, they tend to be read by well-educated upper-income consumers and are therefore good vehicles for advertising high-end brand-name products. Television is also a viable international medium. Advertisers use foreign media, the local media in each country, for large campaigns targeted to consumers or businesses within a single country. Because foreign media cater to their own national audience, advertisers must produce their ads in the language of each country. Looking at advertising agencies, the American Association of Advertising Agencies, or AAA, defines an advertising agency as an independent organization of creative people and business people who specialize in developing and preparing marketing and advertising plans, advertisements, and other promotional tools. Agencies also purchase advertising space and time in various media on behalf of different advertisers or clients to find customers for their goods and services. The agency provides yet another service by researching, negotiating, arranging, and contracting for commercial space and time with different print, electronic, and digital media. Agencies don't work for the media or the suppliers. Their ethical, financial, and legal obligation is to their clients. Today, almost all sizable advertisers rely on an ad agency. Finally, a good agency serves its clients' needs because of its daily exposure to a broad spectrum of marketing situations and problems, both here and abroad. Every community of any size has reputable agencies that offer expert assistance to local advertisers. Unfortunately, local advertisers use ad agencies less extensively than do national advertisers. Many local advertisers simply don't spend enough money on advertising to warrant hiring an agency. And some large agencies don't accept local advertisers because their budgets are too small.